Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's been a long time since I made a video, but I'm going to take you guys around today and show you some of the vehicles that I inherited from my buddy that passed away. So we'll start off with the ones that we're going to get up and running or see if they'll run, and then we're going to go to the other ones that won't run. But yeah, I'll show you guys all the vehicles up here by the shop, and then also some of the other ones that are down at the house. All right, so the first one we're going to try to get up and running is this GMC El Camino. I don't know what they call them. Here is under the hood of the El Camino. It has a good wrench motor, so it's a 350, probably with a 350 transmission behind it. I don't think it'd be a turbo 400. So yeah, we'll drain the fluids out of this thing, put fresh fluids in it after we check and see if this thing will run or not, because it'd be kind of a waste just to do all that and then have this thing be a non-running vehicle. So yeah, we'll check and make sure that it'll turn over and all that good stuff, and then we'll put some fresh fluids in it. And then I need to replace the booster and the master cylinder. I do have another one down at the house off another El Camino that has no engine in it, so I'll probably rob that off there and put it on this one. And then this thing just needs to get pressure washed under the hood, get all these leaves cleaned out of it, and then yeah, check and see if she'll run and drive, and then put this unit up for sale, because I have so many. I don't need another project. Plus, I'm not too big of an El Camino guy, but someone would want this thing. So yeah, I'll take you guys inside the car. So it's got some nice diamond tuck headliner, some nice red leather seats, same with door panels, and then a black dash, which I'm pretty sure the dash was the same color as the panels and everything. It was red, and then somebody painted it black, because you could see it right here. It does have a different steering column in it, and then this steering wheel is just gross. Most of the steering wheels on all the vehicles here are like that. I don't know if it's just from them sitting for so long that they just, all the oil just oozed out of them or whatever, but yeah, all the steering wheels are nasty. This thing just needs to get cleaned up. There is some rust. Got some rust right here. And then same within the back, but that's common on these things. That's where they rust. There's a hole right there, you guys can see. Did have a bed liner in it, and someone actually did take some time to make sure that the bed did not rust. Because sometimes, especially with a bed liner, most of the time these things would have rot up in here too. So surprising, there's not a lot of rot. You can see it over there, but not too bad. Other than that, she's a pretty solid car. Be nice to see her on the road again. So yeah, and then we'll go over to the next vehicle that we'll try to get up and running. So next on the list will be the 87, I think it's 87 or 89 S10. It's got an inline 4, 5-speed. It is rough, but I think this one will run, so we'll check and see if we can get the S10 up and running. I do need to get rid of all the stuff that's in the bed of this thing. Transmissions and stuff. I mean, there's a few on the ground, but there's like 3 transmissions in it, and then this generator. So I'll get all this stuff out of it, and then once I have some more time, I'll move this trailer, and then we'll get this thing rolled out and down to the shop and see if it'll run, and then see if somebody wants to buy this thing also. But like I said, it is pretty rough, so, but hey, somebody might want a little commuter truck. I tried popping the hood and I couldn't get it to release, but yeah, it's got, well, at least it doesn't have 100,000 on it. It's got 97. But yeah, it just needs some love, like most of the vehicles that are here. But yeah, get rid of all the stuff that's in it, and then yeah, we'll just check and see if we can get her running. All right, so the other one we're gonna do is the 80 square body Suburban. Yeah, and this thing is fully loaded, so it's got power windows, power locks, cruise control, and air conditioning. And then it's got that head unit in the back, Does have all the seats for it. It just needs to get finished getting cleaned out. I need to vacuum it and stuff like that. But I think from what my buddy said, the only issue with this truck was the transmission, I think, went out on it. So we'll have to check and see what's going on with that. And then since the hood was open for a while, make sure that no water got in the motor and it's locked up. So yeah, here's under the hood, 350, 350. It does need some love. Like I said, I don't know if it's locked up or not, and then we'll have to check the transmission, get it down to the shop, drain the fluid out of it, and check and see if she's toast or not. And there's the, I think, 2000 Tahoe Limited. We used this thing when my buddy actually used to drive it, and it used to run. We used it in a movie that I filmed a couple years ago. So yeah, we'll try to see if we can get this thing fixed. It does need some wiring. So yeah, here's my main issue is there were some people staying down at my buddy's place that were just straight sacks of shit. And they tore the wiring out because they were trying to get this thing up and running and just screwed this thing up. So hopefully I can get it fixed. I do have some wiring from another vehicle down at the house, so we'll check and see. But yeah, they went through and just tried, I don't know what they were trying to do. Obviously trying to get it up and running, but yeah, they couldn't do it. So now I got to fix this mess that they made. Hopefully I can. Just have to check and see, because it'd be a shame not being able to get this thing fixed and being able to get it driving again. So yeah, it just sucks because this thing was pretty nice back in the day, but now it's just kind of a disaster. So yeah, we'll check and see, hopefully. And I do have all the wheels that match for this thing and the hubcaps or center caps. So I have all the wheels for it. So everything's there to get it fixed. It's just the wiring is going to be the major issue. So yeah, it's got a Vortec in it. And then yeah, here's some more of the stuff that they put on there to try to steal this thing. So I got to go through and check all the wiring on it to see if we can get her up and running. But pretty confident I can do it. So we'll just try. We'll succeed. The Vega GT wagon. I don't know if this thing will run or not. It's been sitting for a long time. I mean, it hasn't been registered in 40 years, so yeah, we'll see. And then I know these motors did have a lot of issues, so let's have to check and see if she'll crank over or not. But I think this thing would be cool to put a big block in or something, but I don't have time to do it. I'd like to see somebody do it, so yeah, this thing will get sold. But yeah, Vegas are definitely a funky car, especially this thing being a wagon. And the headliner, it looks like it's dropped a little bit, but other than that, the interior is not in bad shape besides like the driver's seat and stuff like that. The steering wheel, nice and gooey and sticky. The dash isn't too destroyed. And then this door panel, probably because maybe at one point the window was down or something. The shitty thing is I don't have no keys for this thing, so I can't open the hatch. But this thing was full of stuff. I cleaned it out. So yeah, we'll try to see if we can get the Vega up and running. I just don't know. It does have some rot in the frame from the battery, so that's the only downfall to this car besides this little motor. I mean, look at the starter compared to the engine. It's almost as big as the engine is. Here's the 88 IROC Camaro. It's missing the hood, the fender, and the passenger's door, and also the rocker on the passenger side's broken. And you guys can kind of tell the headlight panel is damaged, but I have another one of those up at the shop. And I do have taillights for this thing because they're broken also, and they're in the car. And then these extensions, I have another set of these, and this one's got a hole in it. But other than that, the body on it's pretty straight. The quarters don't have any big dents in it. They might have some little dings in there, but nothing major. It does suck though that the window was left down even though it was missing a door, because this side got full of water from where it's the way it's sitting because of the angle that it's at. So we'll just try to see if this thing will run. I mean, you can tell the hood's been off for a long time, so we don't know if it's going to start or not, but hey, we'll give her a whirl and see what happens. But yeah, somebody definitely like an 88 Camaro. I know people like these IROCs. So yeah, we'll just fire her up and see if someone wants to take this thing off my hands. It's the GMC square body tow truck. Has a big block in it. I'm not sure if this thing runs or not. Pretty decent. The cab's in pretty good shape. The seat's in all right shape too. It is missing the bezel for the dash, which I think I have a couple of them for this year. And there is a nice big dent. That's the only dent. It's right here on the back of the cab from probably something coming up and hitting it from the bed of the tow truck. I'm surprised the glass didn't break, because if you look down, it's got a nice bow to it. But yeah, if I can get this bed off and scrap it, that'd be great. So yeah, here's the tow truck. All right, and then for vehicles that won't run, we got this other S10 right here. This thing has an inline 4 in it, but it's completely torn apart. So this thing will probably just get sold as a parts truck. It's pretty straight. So yeah, there's this S10. So yeah, then there's this S10. I think it rolled on its side or rolled over or something. It's pretty destroyed. So it does have a V6 in it, and it's 4-wheel drive, and the V6 is complete. So I don't know if this thing will run or not. But yeah, this thing, just part it out, get rid of it. Somebody might need a bed. I mean, it's pretty decent, even though it probably flipped up on its top or whatever. But it's got some parts that are salvageable. If somebody wants, you know, some parts off of an S10 or need parts off an S10, I have them. Now this S10 right here, this one's got an inline 4. I don't think this thing would run. It's pretty corroded underneath the hood. So yeah, this thing probably just get parted out or sell as a whole, and then somebody could drive it again. But it's gross. This one's really nasty. It's got a lot of mice nest in it and stuff. The Blazer that caught on fire, so it's fitting. But yeah, this thing won't run. The wiring's all melted and the engine is melted. It's too bad, because this was a really nice Blazer, super straight. It's too bad that it caught on fire, because it is very straight. I think that's the only little bit of rust, besides, you know, where it caught on fire, stuff like that, and then the dash is melted. But other than that, straight vehicle. It's got power windows, power locks. The interior is not in bad shape. I mean, besides the window being melted, that's the only reason why there's all these leaves and stuff in here. But yeah, other than that, not too shabby. This thing had a bunch of parts in it too. I had to go and take them all out and found some stuff that I could use. Then we got the GMC, the 4-wheel drive. This one has a V6 in it. The motor's torn apart, so it's missing parts. And don't know what the issue was, why they tore it apart. It was definitely probably something mechanical. So the engine's all tore down. So what I might do is pull that V6 out of that S10 and throw it in the Jimmy and see if it'll run again. Because it's a shame. I mean, this thing's nice. It's straight. It is missing the door glass and the door panel, but I have some other parts down at my house. So yeah, it's like to see these things go to somebody who would want to drive it again, even with these funky flares on it. And there's this square body Suburban. I'm gonna keep this one. The hood's straight. This door has got a nice dent in it, but that's all right. It's gonna stay. And then there is some rot in the back behind the glass back there. It has a 454 in it with no transmission. So this thing's gonna get pulled out. I have plans for it. So we're gonna pull the 454 out. I already have the engine that I'm gonna swap into it down in the shop. It might not make some people happy, but that's all right. So yeah, I've been trying not to taco this hood, so I slowly close it because it hasn't been bent yet. And then there's this lovely crunchy square body Suburban. This thing's just gonna get scrapped. I mean, probably pop the trim off of it and some other stuff. And this is the one I'm gonna take all the door panels off because they're in decent shape. I mean, they're not great, but pop these things off and whatever else I can salvage off this thing, because this thing is so rotted. I mean, you can see all the daylight in the roof. I think this one spent a lot of time down in San Francisco, down by the bay. So it just rotted everything, all the salt water in the air, all the moisture. The lift gate might be the only thing that's salvageable. Back bumper's not. But yeah, I think the lift gate might be pretty good. Other than that, I mean, this thing, it's crunchy. And here's the other one. So this thing, from what my buddy told me, is when he dropped it off with the rollback tow truck, it rolled down the hill and center punched, I think, that tree right there. But yeah, you guys will see the front end of this thing. It is just mangled. It's too bad because this was actually a pretty straight one besides the dents on the door. But yeah, I just toasted this thing. I mean, look at the hood. So yeah, I don't know how it got over the rocks, but not unless it rolled into another tree here, like one of these small ones or something. But I guess it would have been that one down there. So yeah, it's pretty mangled. And these frame rails are probably just totally bent. Oh yeah, look at the front of that. So that's why I'm gonna keep that frame from the other one and put this body on that frame. And this thing has a big block in it, but I don't know if it's any good. I don't know if it broke the crank or what. So we'll just have to see when it gets to that point with this one. But I still need to empty it out because it's full of stuff. My buddy had a little bit of a problem collecting things. But like I said, it's too bad it hit that tree because this side's really straight. The other side, with the doors being damaged, not so much, but yeah, so there's this one. All right, so there's this El Camino and the other one behind it. This one has no engine and transmission in it. It got stolen out of it, I think sometime last year. But yeah, the problem with this one, besides missing the engine and transmission, is the passenger door is pretty hammered. Other than that, it's not in too bad a shape. All right, then there's this one back here. This one has an engine transmission in it. I don't know if it runs or not. We can check to see on this one too. But here's the interior on this one. It's pretty rough, just like the other one. There's the door panel. And that dash has just seen better days. And this one surprisingly has a key in it, because all the other vehicles had no keys in them. And the back of this thing needs to get cleaned out. And I think this was the one with the camper shell on it, because you could see where it had been sitting on this thing. But it's just a little bit of surface rust. And then all the trim is missing on these because I took it off a while back when I was doing another El Camino. So yeah, I do have some pieces to put back on these things if somebody wants one of these ones. Yeah, straight bumper not really on this one. Lift gate, not straight. That's all right. Minor details, people. And then show you this vehicle over here. This is the one I'm gonna rob the wiring out of, if it'll work on that Tahoe. So yeah, I'll pull some of this wiring harness out and see if it'll work. I hope so, that'd be great. If it'll work, cool. If not, it is what it is. But I might be able to take the column out and put it in the Tahoe because this one has a key and everything for it. So we'll just have to see. And then I will pull this 454 out of it and see what's wrong with this, and then just put it in the shop and then get rid of this chassis. See if somebody needs a cab, an extended cab for an OBS. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and seeing the new vehicles and the ones that we're gonna get up and running. And if you did, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, also notification bell, that way you guys stay notified when we go to light them off, fire them up, crank them over, all that fun stuff. So until next time, I'll see you guys later.